Hey, this is Matt from InvestiQuant. Today is Thursday, January 21st, 2021. And this morning, the markets saw some up gaps taking place following yesterday's 52-week high close. And since then, we've had a pretty quiet session, and most of the markets are trading a little bit lower, trading towards the bottom portion of the range after an earlier test to the upside here. A couple hours ago, late into the morning session, we have pulled back and we are kind of just consolidating. The Nasdaq's the one market that's holding up a bit stronger. It's holding up closer to its highs, but the other three instruments are currently in the bottom half of its range, with the Russell being the weakest, hanging out right near its lows. But what I want to do this afternoon is take a look at a pattern based upon following that 52-week high close like we had yesterday. What has happened historically when you are trading in the bottom half of the range heading into the close, since we are in the bottom half of the range in 3 of the 4 instruments right now. So let me go ahead and set that up using all 4 instruments. We're going to use an intraday time-based entry that gets long at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. It's going to be exiting at the close, which is 4:15 p.m. Eastern Time. Now, to set this pattern up, I'm going to go into the post-open filters, and I'm going to say that that 3 p.m. price, which is the time of entry, is in the bottom half of the intraday range. I can do that by going into this intraday close versus intraday range and hitting equals next to close and bottom half of intraday range. And that means that the 3 p.m. price, since that is the entry time we're using, is in the bottom half of the intraday range. Next, I'm going to go into the price patterns library. This is where I can put some context around yesterday's action. This is where I can say yesterday was a 52-week high close. And if I just scroll down a little bit here in this new highs section, I can grab that piece of information right down here. Day after 52-week high close. It's also available here on the active today section as well. And then now I can hit view results. And here we go. These are the results of going long at 3 p.m. Eastern Time, exiting at the close, which is 4:15 p.m. Eastern Time, when yesterday, or the prior session, closed at a 52-week high. And today's session is trading in the bottom 50% of the intraday range at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. Now, this has a large sample size for all 4 instruments dating back to 2003. The S&P has 230 samples, the Nasdaq 208, the Dow 183, and the Russell 159. So very healthy sample sizes there. And if we take a look at the win rates on these, they are all leaning a little bit more towards the long side. So big sample sizes and win rates leaning towards the long side here in the S&P with a 60% win rate. The Nasdaq coming in at about 59%. The Dow is the strongest of the group. 65% of those 183 samples have closed above the 3 p.m. price. And then the Russell coming in at 57% of those have closed above the 3 p.m. price. If we take a look at the average win, average loss, they are nearly identical for the S&Ps, so no big difference there. The Nasdaq has had some larger losses on average, and it looks like there's probably a couple outliers there that is driving that. You can see some really big losses taking place here in this orange equity curve here in recent years, but it's started to recover. For the Dow, average win a little bit larger than the average loss, and then Russell, like the S&P, very similar in size for average win and average loss. But most of those, not a big difference between average win and average loss, and the win rates on those have leaned towards the long side into the close. So even though this pattern is showing a little bit of weakness with it trading in the bottom half of the range, following that 52-week high close, more often than not, it has closed above that 3 p.m. price at the close. So hopefully you found that helpful. Good luck today, and we will see you tomorrow.